is the metaphorical hourglass, the sands of time dropping down at this point as we wait for the Jaylen Brown extension? Is this looming according to all reports? Is this going to, Supermax get done? And I don't know, maybe by the time this podcast is even published, or is there something meaningful that is delaying this in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to get done. I think if you're the Celtics, you're trying to find a way to save as much as you can on this. There's parameters that it's got to be 6 years when you roll in the years that are left on his contract. So it'll be 1 year and then the additional after that. But for the Celtics, Rudy Gobert signed a supermax that wasn't a full supermax. I think he's the only guy who's done that. And I think the Celtics would like to maybe find ways to, as we've seen with the second apron, every $1 million that you can save, you got to try to do it. There's been sort of this rubber stamp in terms of, okay, there's a supermax here, just take the whole thing. And there hasn't been a whole lot of pushback from teams saying, well, maybe we should try to, instead of giving the full 35%, which is what 35% of the cap, which is where you're eligible to start, why don't we make it 32? Why don't we negotiate that rather than just sort of rubber stamping it? So that can be the only thing. And I don't have any reporting that, I'm not saying that, but to me, that's the thing that's holding it up is, maybe the Celtics are trying to find some ways to not make this the full supermax, to not make this the full almost $300 million, because that's going to be something that, and you look at it with Damian Lillard right now, right? I mean, he's going to make $60 million at age 37 under his current deal, because the Blazers just said, okay, supermax, there you go, take the whole thing. And rather than saying, well, wait a minute, why don't we try to make this a little more reasonable, because you're not going to be worth $60 million when you're 37. So, I think that's where this is that the Celtics are trying to find ways to make this a reasonable supermax rather than just a rubber stamp kind of thing.
So I wholeheartedly agree with you. If the two of us are sitting here and we are part of basketball operations, we're on the team side. What I've come back to a number of times on this show, whenever someone has brought this up, is if you're Jaylen Brown, who has felt openly disrespected by this city, this organization, maybe not the organization, but the fan base, there have been gripes. There have been things that have upset you over the years that he's probably still not beyond, and I'm not saying he should be in every way. It depends on, like, getting booed on draft night, get over it. Some of the stuff in terms of the makeup of the city and the racial, element, like, yeah, I'm not gonna ever tell somebody, hey, get over that. But there are things obviously that are going on in his head that have made me, I don't know why he would ever take less than a supermax. He has never given me the vibe that he is a guy who would say, yeah, I'll work with you on this. I'll take a little bit less for the betterment of the organization and the second apron. And like, he's struck me as someone that's, no, I'm like, see that full supermax that he's getting, and he's getting rubber stamped, like you said. I want that too. I've earned it. I was all NBA. I'm eligible. Give it to me. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's, if I'm Jaylen Brown, that's probably what I'm saying back to the Celtics, even as they're saying, but what about, how about if we did this? How about if we did that? I'm sure if I'm Jaylen Brown, then I'm saying no. I mean, this is what I'm eligible for. I'm a top 15 player in the league. That's what I want. And, don't forget that he's also very involved with the union, and a lot of times when you get players who are involved with the union, they see it as, and it is, I'm not suggesting that it's not, but it's important that they set a precedent that other players can benefit from, and I would be 100% sure that that's part of Jaylen Brown's logic, that even if he did say, okay, that makes sense what you're saying, but I've got to think about the players who come after me. That's most likely part of his thought process as well.
The CLNS Media Network is powered by FanDuel. Sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston and get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed.